Listen, man, all your Mark Zuckerbergs and your Elon Musks and your rich billionaire folks that's going up underground, them folks are not going up under the. They is not going up under no ground. And let's just be clear, what they're running from is the sun. They running from the sun because the rich know. You know, the rich are coming up with a plan right now as I speak, as you are listening. They coming up with a plan to figure out how the fuck are they going to escape this upcoming event that's going to take place with the sun. And going up under the ground has got to be the worst decision ever, because we know that ionizing particles causes tectonic plates to shift in the ground. I know y'all been seeing videos of roads and shit opening up, big ass cracks, big ass holes, all kind of shit that just happening with like the ground and shit. All of that shit is happening because of the planet is heating up. Like, we're having like X-class solar flares, man, and solar flares have shown and have proven many times through seismographs of shifts taking place in the tectonic plates. So why the fuck would they go up under the ground? It doesn't make any sense. You have a better chance of surviving in a cave, like one that's like in the mountains. Which comes to think of it, ain't that what Jacob went in the Bible when he went to see the God of Israel? He went in a cave in the mountains. Up under the ground is not the way to go, y'all. I'm telling you, that's not smart at all.
You see, when the Zeta Grays first came to Earth, they needed the Earth's resources because their planet and their district was dying. But there were already people in these cities, in Chicago and New York City, Florida, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, Houston, Texas. All these places were already inhabited by Black Tartarians. And so the alien war that happened is they came here and incinerated the whole entire Earth, and especially America, which was Greater Tartaria. They had to take control of the capital of Atlantis. And we are a people that's suffering from amnesia because we've all been flashed by the men in black. And the flash is you going into the school systems and being indoctrinated by a false history. So essentially, all the history that's been given to us by the clone races and the pilgrims is a history that never happened. Everything they told us was a complete lie. And so when you see these ships and these UFOs come out the sky in the future, you got to understand that this is an invasion of an occupation that already had happened in the past. You know, at this point, I'm not sure if the Pilgrims and the Zeta Grays are actually in cahoots with trying to keep this secret from us, and they just kind of play like they want to be part of us and they want us to unite now and all this, that, there. But it seems like they're just trying to keep the secret of what actually happened and how they're actually aliens that came and took and inhabited our lands. You know, these Zeta Grays and these clones, they haven't been here for a long time. We just think they have because they indoctrinated us with a false history. And we have just been recently, the whole entire Earth has been recently invaded.
Meantime, a major embarrassment for a San Francisco TV station and the NTSB. The station was tricked into airing a racially insensitive report about the crash, specifically identifying the crew members on the plane. And the NTSB is admitting this morning that it's its fault. A warning, some of what you're about to hear contains very offensive language. Here's Michelle Franzen.
It all started as a late-breaking development in KTVU's noon broadcast.
KTVU has just learned the names of the 4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Lee, and Bang Ding Ao. The NTSB has confirmed these are the names of the pilots on board Flight 214.
The offensive names and the obvious hoax spread quickly on the internet. And within minutes, the station realized the racially offensive error and apologized.
We apologize for this error.
But also cited that they had been confirmed by the NTSB.
You get into RH negative, you get into disrupting electrical devices due to the blood. Think about that. blood types which disrupt electrical devices. Copper in the blood disrupts electrical devices. Then you get into different traits of Rh negative, and all these different traits of Rh negative. There's some really cool forums you guys can look up, Rh negative forums, and all the different traits of Rh negative. It's very fascinating when you get into all of this. All these different things about blood type. And once again, it goes down to what we should be eating based on our blood type, based on our eye color, and if you want to take it one step further, to our astrological sign. Certain foods and certain alignments and certain things should be going into the body. I'm A+ and my computer shut down around me. That's amazing. And that's what I'm talking about. There's so much to your blood that we just don't pay attention to. If you could walk into the room and disrupt electrical devices with your blood, you are like a Super Saiyan if you think about it. I mean, it's just remarkable what we can do. And once again, we're not taught anything about this. I'm A negative and technology hates me. That's why they say when you wear a watch, all of a sudden the watch turns off. That's your blood disrupting those watches, which is funny that you say that. Some technology doesn't go too well with certain blood types.
You know how much effort it takes to drown a town of people? Think about that logistically, what that takes. I want to make a series here on TikTok and call it White Black History, because as a white person, I know we don't get taught the truth. On America. I'll give you an example. It would be like the Tulsa Massacre, where Black Wall Street is what we called it, an extremely wealthy black neighborhood, was beaten and burned down. Another one's like the Wilmington Massacre in North Carolina in like 1898, where a group of white supremacists just decided to overthrow the local government that was biracial and then just kill all the black people. Show me that in your history book. Or you have like the CONTELPRO and like the targeting of black leaders from like 1950 something to 1971, where basically it was an FBI initiated program that was designed to infiltrate and target black leaders, black communities, anybody who was really outspoken against things. We just don't learn these things. Like literally the FBI and the CIA have been involved in the disparagement, displacement, and eradication of black people and their wealth for ever. Then when somebody brings it up, we sound crazy because you haven't heard it in a textbook in 6th grade. Why would we teach you you're the bad guy? It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of things that we don't get taught that are actual things. There was several black towns that were drowned. Drowned. Think about that for a minute. Do you know how much work and effort it takes to drown a town because you don't like what they look like? Oscarville, Georgia, Choctaw City, Alabama, Seneca Village in New York, more recent, Coalinga, Alabama, Freedmen's Towns in Texas. That's black-white history, though.
He won it because he had to cut his hair. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, remember what Cat Williams said in the Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay interview. Let's check it out again right here. Here's a video.
Are you related to Luda?
No. So there was a crossroads where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing, and it had to be one or the other of us, and decisions had to be made. So it was both of us. We were equal. One of us had to cut off all their hair and couldn't do the sideburn thing no more with the points. And the next person, they said, was going to get $200 million because they were going to pay him $10 million a movie to do 20 movies. And that's how the conversation happened. One of those persons turned out to be Ludacris, and the other person turned out to be Cat Williams.
Recently, Cat Williams, he had dropped a diss track on Ludacris, and he had also dropped some bars in there about Ludacris and Quincy Jones. Let's check it out right here.
One last point, and I'm going to leave it alone. I've never personally been with Quincy Jones, but you, that was your girl, boy. Don't play with these toys. I'm to be avoided at all costs. Just go ahead and swallow up that little. You know I know what I know. The truth is, you gotta go, you gotta go. I'm coming for your number one spot.
Okay, man. And so a lot of people was like, yo, that Quincy bar was crazy. And then when you look up Ludacris and Quincy Jones, here's a video of Ludacris and Quincy Jones holding hands.
You know, just have him in my life. He's a great, great leader. Great leader. Living legend. That's what we sitting in front of right now.
So a lot of people is definitely thrown off by that. But like I was saying earlier in today's video, they done went and found the footage of Ludacris publicly admitting that once he had cut his hair. And I'm going to play this clip, and then I'm going to replay the clip again because I want to also point out another thing as well. So let's listen to this clip of Ludacris admitting that once he cut his hair, he was able to win Best Rap Album, man. Let's check out the clip right here. Here's the video.
And the winner for the Best Rap Album goes to Ludacris. Is your year, baby.
Anything to hear half your breath. I know you're scared. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you.
I was just out back with my dogs, and I grabbed a handful of this stuff, and I was gonna let it melt on my hands, just like this. Okay. One, there's a big ice film on here. So I held it, and I threw it down, and what was left, I wanted to see if it was just gonna melt, and it did. I was about to throw it down and do this, but then I smelled it. I'm an electrician. Whenever burning wire is in a wall or there's an arc, there's a smell that happens instantly. It's called ozone. You know that smell very well as an electrician. You walk in a house, you smell ozone, you know there's a fire. There's an electrical fire somewhere. So I'm trained to smell that smell. And I've never smelled it in snow. Now I'm Gen X, and as a boy, 70s and 80s, after the rain, you know, you would smell an ozone smell. And it was kind of natural, you know, it was a little bit, just a little bit of ozone for just a few minutes. But I've never, ever, ever smelled it in snow. So I went and looked it up. And I want to know the effects of ozone. When 48 states all have snow at one time and it's coated in ozone, what could that mean? Well, when I looked it up, what it said was that ozone has an effect on humans of irritation to the lungs, coughing, bronchitis, emphysema. All these things can be aggravated. And I know they're about to roll out Disease X. They're about to say that everybody's got all these lung issues and all this. So I started looking at what would cause snow to have this level of ozone, to still be trapped in here like this. And ozone, so this is the thing. Snow forms at around 50,000 feet. And your rain is usually 30,000 feet and lower. And I've always known that even when I was young. And then that changed in the late 90s. They were talking about the clouds were at 50,000 feet. And it was raining outside. I said, that's unnatural. That doesn't make any sense. And that's when, you know, I started to realize there was weather modification stuff going on. But anyway, the point is, I started looking into it online, and it said that high levels of ozone would come from man-made things, pollution, this and that, you know. So they've put something up there in the sky. They put something up there to cause all this snow. And if you're on this channel, if you're on this page, you already know, or you should, that they're manipulating everything. But what they've done is they have sent something down here to us. And we're all out here, it's all about to melt, and we're all gonna breathe it at one time. And it was, online it was saying that massive doses of ozone all at one time are extremely detrimental. They're gonna cause a lot of lung issues, a lot of wheezing, a lot of chest irritation. So be prepared, watch out for it. Because I was looking around, I mean, it's like 34 here right now. And this isn't melting the way snow usually melts. Like there's a little bit of water right there. But normally, I mean, you know, you've got rivers running down the side of my street, and you don't. It's like it's just evaporating. I've never seen snow melt in this fashion before. Like my driveway's dry. Look at this. See the wet line? There's a wet line and a dry line. And it shouldn't be that way, you know? All this snow should be running together. But it's just right on the edge of the snow. And even down at the end of the snow. If all this snow is melting, that's bone dry. That's bone dry right there. That makes no sense because the water should be coming down. So there's weird things happening. It doesn't make sense when you look at it at first, but when you start putting all the pieces together, this is the beginning of what they're trying to do. They've sent this down here on us.
Who are you? Who are you to make nations and countries and governments conspire to turn maps upside down to hide truth from you? Who are you? You got to think about that. Who are you to the point that they will lie in books globally? Who are you to the point that they would spend trillions and billions of dollars to confuse you, to deny you your truth about who you are? Who are you? What is the mystery behind your identity to the point that globalists, governments around the world will conspire together in secrecy to keep you blind to who you are? You must be something mighty, mighty powerful. You must be something mighty, mighty powerful for the whole world to be in on your demise, for the whole world to be in on your agreement of extermination. Who are you? I tell you who you are. You are the children of the descendants that the greatest crime on this planet has been committed against. You are the children who are the owners of the greatest landmass on this planet. You are the children that have survived an atrocity that no one wants to speak of. Who are you? You are the indigenous aboriginals, the owners of Turtle Island, the descendants of the ancient ones. That's who you are. And those who have done you wrong will face their demise.
Finally have this movie on Netflix. I saw this one on TikTok the other day.
I'm sorry.
Are you alright?
I think we're all gonna have faces like that. Here in LA, almost everyone. Oh my god, look at their faces. This movie is gonna shock you. It's really, really good.
Yeah, she is. Wait till Becca sees this. It's going to be
It's really, really good.
Are you hiding?
Oh my god. Look at their faces.
Chris? Is that you?
I love this movie.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you. Please help me.
Oh my god.
Listen, this is gonna sound crazy, but you have to believe me. I'm not from here. I'm from another world. There, you found something on this faceless freak who's causing this whole mess.
Oh my god, you guys are gonna love it. Go watch it, it's really
Help
good.
me find it again. I need to
Oh
know
my
what
God.
Hunty is and why he's doing this to us.
She's the only one with
with no face like this in this war. Go watch it. It's on
Whenever
Netflix.
you're in the dream world, that is real life. The astral plane, all of that, that is real life. You have no limitation. You can fly. You can teleport. You can paradigm shift. You could go from one reality to the next reality with no limitations. But when you're in this physical realm, you can't do all of that. Yes, you're still in tune with your soul. You're still connected to your soul, and you still travel dimensions while being in the physical vessel. But you can't do it as freely as if you was in the dream state. But in this society, they want us to think that this is real life and this is all that there is. We all know damn well that that is not true. Just that alone shows that we're souls having a human experience. I know y'all had dreams where you was traveling different places and it felt so real as if you was in this reality. And you were able to jump from timeline to timeline. Shit, you might see a fucking frog in your dream and that nigga turn to a llama or some shit. Just like that. You can't tell me that's not real life. That essence within our bodies is limitless. So powerful that we could create our own reality by just thinking about something in the dream world. If you ever lucid dream before, you know what I'm talking about. One of the requirements of having these vessels on this planet is getting enough sleep to make sure that your vessel is charged up. But while your vessel is charging up, where's your soul at? The astral, where we all came from. And like I always say, y'all might already know this. I'm just reminding y'all that y'all are more powerful than what you think. So with just that information alone, that should just let you know not to take everything so serious. Just live life and have fun. We're on this realm to explore. Of course, we're here to become better, but stop taking everything so serious. This is like a school. Earth is like a big ass school. You have people here that's here to learn a lesson from a past life, you know, where they didn't get something right. Or you're here to heal people and to guide people as a light worker. Spiritual melody.
They saying that Gen Z is aging more rapidly than millennials, and it's because y'all are full of hormones and we're full of preservatives. I thought that Red Lobster was a like 5-star restaurant. Dining out for us was like Wendy's, the Yellow Cup days, Yellow Bag. I'm talking about Dave was alive. Y'all eat that on lunch break. Like y'all will go to Longhorns on a lunch break. I didn't start eating at restaurants for real until I was 20. A restaurant growing up for me was like Golden Corral after church. You know what I'm saying? Western Sizzling, shit like that. And I'm telling you, it's a rare occasion, like a delicacy. I grew up eating out of a microwave. Marie Callender, Kid Cuisine. You feel me? Banquet meals. I'm talking about eating a frozen brownie that if you leave it in the microwave 10 seconds too long, it turns to a brick and you finna eat that. I'm talking about a Hot Pocket still cold in the middle. You just gonna muscle through that. I'm talking about going outside all day, hot sun, and if I come in the house, I might have to stay in, so I'm drinking out of a water hose. This type of shit. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just a generational divide. I'm not putting y'all down. Y'all grew up how y'all grew up. I'm saying, like, I had an actual teenage years. I didn't get a haircut with enhancements. My barber didn't dress like a rapper. My barber was an old man named Bill. He wore slacks and thick bifocals. The haircut was $10. And I'm talking about, what do you want? If you want a fade, I mean, this ain't the fade ain't used to fade like that. You better off just getting all even with a lineup and you good to go. No parts, no enhancements, no color, no dye, no chalk. None of that shit. So like, you know, y'all was going to school. If a girl wore a wig to high school, I mean, I'm telling you that it was apparently a wig. We think this bitch got cancer. This is what I'm telling you. The things that y'all experienced growing up was more so like, y'all went from 13 to 18 real fast. But I think we could just all pull it back to the food. Y'all are full of hormones and we are full of preservatives. Eating out is nothing to y'all. It's like a way of life. It's like second nature. McDonald's money was just a real thing for me growing up. And, you know, at times, like, that's why, like, with millennials, we're not aging in the face, we aging in the body. Like, we expanding. Because we're expanding, you know what I'm saying? Our backs are big as hell because we wasn't eating out like that. So as soon as we became adults and we got some of our own money and shit, all we doing is eating out now. And if we would, I ain't gonna say get back to the microwave, but the air fryer is definitely like, I ain't gonna lie. My motherfucking air fryer on this last leg, I'm throwing some shit in the air fryer like it ain't nobody business. But I think it is that. It's just like we eating a lot of preservatives, a lot of microwave foods, a lot of TV dinners, and I think y'all was eating out a lot more. Cause y'all was just eating Chick-fil-A in high school and shit like that. I'm eating pizza with chocolate milk, mashed potatoes, chicken sandwich. I don't know where it come from.
Back in the day, it used to cost $50,000. Who knows how much it costs now? If you ever notice a rapper first, everything's fine. Then something goes wrong. They get out of line. They end up in jail. They come back looking totally different. And it's up to us if we're going to let them play in our face or if we're going to go, that ain't him. And then speaking of they clone Tyrone, isn't Jamie Foxx part of that?
He came out looking, they were like, where's the tattoo?
Where's his tattoo on the back of his head?
They showed a picture of him.
He was in like McDonald's or Wendy's or some damn where. It looked like the clone was just testing himself out. Like, yeah, all right, I'm out. Let's see what's going on. I'm happy to be in the world. It seemed like the clone was literally testing himself out. But my thing is, where was the tattoo on the back of his head? And it just makes you wonder, like, do they do this shit to, like, play with us, to, like, see if we know, to see if we still dumb, to see how many of us are dumb, to see how many of us are brainwashed so they can know how many more to continue to brainwash?
The panel is made up of white men. This is not a pejorative. You've all sermonized to a certain extent about diversity. If you believe that your likely successor will be a woman or a person of color, would you kindly extend a hand into the air? Let the record reflect. For fear that you may not hear me, just raise your hand now so that I'll know you're there. Raise your hand, please. All of you, sir? Apparently you don't hear me over on the end. Would you kindly extend a hand into the air if you can hear me? Next to the gentleman that raised his hand, would you extend a hand, please? With the glasses, perhaps I should call your name. Mr. Sharp, would you? Thank you. I know it's difficult to go on the record sometimes, but the record has to be made. All white men, and none of you, not one, appears to believe that your successor will be a female or a person of color. Next question has to do with something near and dear to my heart. My ancestors were slaves. In 2005, is it true that J.P. Morgan released information directly indicating that it directly benefited from slavery? Would the representative from J.P. Morgan respond?
I do believe that in 2005 we made a report about potential transactions that involved slavery between J.P. Morgan or its heritage companies back in the 1800s.
In fact, there was an indication, I believe, that you accepted loans against slaves as collateral. True?
I believe that to be true, yes.
For edification purposes, have any of the other banks compiled a study as to whether or not you have benefited from slavery? If so, raise your hand, please. Let the record reflect that none have raised a hand. Not one has raised a hand.
You had a drinking problem for a while or something?
Well, what was it really? It just, the Indians don't really get too along with the fire water and,
Are you an Indian?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I thought you were a black guy.
Hey.
You're Indian?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
What kind of Indian are you?
Like Tonto Indian?
Shinnecock Indian.
Really? You're a Shinnecock?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you're a Shinnecock.
You could have fooled me.
That's the kind I am. So you should be Big Chief Bastard, not older.
This is ODB, the flamboyant Wu-Tang rapper from New York City. He told us long time ago that he was a Shinnecock Indian. Shinnecock Indian Nation is a federally recognized tribe of historically Algonquin-speaking Native Americans. His cousin RZA is also a Shinnecock Indian.
My cousin. What? Yeah, my grandmother and his father are brothers and sisters.
We know the truth now.
Let me tell you something about this real quick. So we have these things on our DNA called telomeres, T-E-L-O-M-A-R-E-S. When you remove the cap from those telomeres, We moved from 80 years to 200 years living. They're doing this with animals. They've been doing it on humans. But basically, there were humans native to Earth. Some of the humans were GMO'd by certain extraterrestrial species. These species put a cap on our telomeres. These telomeres are your DNA. At the edge of your DNA, there's a little cap. Boop, boop. If we didn't have that cap, we would live hundreds of years longer. Who would this be for? Would this be for poor people? Or would the rich find a way to, you know what I'm saying? Age isn't real, by the way. You're a timeless being, number one. Number two, this is an energy digital hologram. They're trying to put you in a digital hologram. Whether you believe me or not, that's on you. I got plenty of evidence on this profile you can go check out. And my Instagram, _. This is the start for immortality. Why would you want to be immortal on Earth? Unless you go to 5D. Just saying. Then it would be probably chill. But I don't know about this.
And just like Cat Williams, you soon gonna have the opportunity to tell your truth. Because the problem is, a lot of us have been silenced. A lot of us have been labeled crazy because we do tell the truth. Because a lot of people like to live in a lie. They want to put up this facade like it's this and it's that for the public, but they act this way behind closed doors. If I'm mean in public, I mean behind closed doors. I am who I am. But when you got an image to keep up, you lie. And you do a lot of pretending. But see, a lot of people done lied on you. Done had people making it look like you were the problem when the whole time it was them. And you done tried to speak up. You done tried to tell your truth, but nobody was listening. But see, this is the season for exposure. Because the liars are going to be exposed because now they are starting to get sloppy in their work. So people are already picking up on, hey, oh, you ain't like I thought you was. They're going to start putting two and two together and start realizing, oh, they ain't crazy. Y'all just try to label them crazy so that when the truth started coming out, nobody would want to believe it because you done put the image out there years ago, oh, that this person is crazy. Ain't nobody crazy. Folks might deal with a little bit of depression and anxiety or stuff sometimes, but ain't nobody crazy now. I feel like if you done did something, good, bad, or ugly, then it's going to be a part of somebody's story. Now, if you don't want nobody to have a bad narrative about you, then you need to be careful of how you're treating people. Because this is a season of exposure. And your time is coming for you to be able to get up there on that stand and tell your story. Tap that microphone, clear your throat, drink a little sip of water, baby, because it's time. It's time, and you better not be scared, and you better not back down. Stand 10 toes down in your truth, even if people think that you're crazy.
Y'all want to tell me who the fuck this supposed to be? Dog. Cause that motherfucker ain't Randy Jackson. They like to play right in our motherfucking face. He looked like claymation. He looked like Celebrity Deathmatch. He looked like them old breast commercials. Look at his motherfucking eye. His eye cock diesel. You know what I mean? He cockeyed like a motherfucker. His hair fake as a motherfucker. Everything on him looked fake. Look at this shit. That shit looks scary as a motherfucker. I don't know where the real Randy Jackson went, but that ain't him. You can say whatever the fuck you want, dog, but that's a different motherfucker. And that's a big fact. They done replaced him with a motherfucking robot. They said, yeah, that motherfucker look like a little penny. You look like Pinocchio. I want to be a real boy. Fake ass human. Humanoid. Fuck you. Fuck y'all.